Hi, I'm in my father Jay Blaushild's old office, and as you can see around me, there's a lot of artifacts that he had collected. But he wasn't a collector of things as much as he was a collector of friendships and relationships, because it was all about people. Now, myself and others admired my father for so many different things: his intellect, his passion, his energy, how much he cared. But one thing, what it really comes down to, is common sense and judgment. And he thought through a lot of different things and got a lot of input from a lot of people to decide strategically what are the things in our business that we need to do. Now, I've read and learned over the years, and this was kind of interesting, that about every 5 years there's a big defining moment and a decision that it's made. And when I thought about our 90th year celebration now, there's probably about 20 big decisions that we have to make and have made as a company. And I actually was jotting all of those down. And when I looked at them, there were one or two or three that stood out as the most important things we've ever done. One of which was our 40 fundamentals. This is really the basis of our culture. And when I think about our 40 fundamentals, we all have our favorites. I mean, I love execute the perfect order. I love honoring commitments, being humble, being in the gray zone. We all have the ones that we love. But the one that's foundational to everything we do is do the right thing always, even when no one's looking. What we like to say is everything we do, it has to be ethical, moral, legal, and compliance. And that's like a given. But once you set that to the side, what does doing the right thing always really mean? And how do we bring it alive in our daily activities, personally and professionally? Interestingly, the other day, we're in an ELT meeting, and John Palermo mentioned he was talking with a bunch of our associates, one of which recently came from the retail side of the business, not our business. He joined us because he was in the retail sector. And he said, what I didn't like about being in retail is I felt like my hands were tied. There were always policies and procedures, and I couldn't make decisions. It was like black and white. This is what we do, this is what we don't do. And that's it, an edict from corporate. But in our business, this gentleman said, being in wholesale and dealing with these customers as we do, day after day, year after year, decade after decade, and we have these relationships, we can use our common sense and judgment to do the right thing when things aren't black and white, and there's maybe guidelines that we have versus policies and procedures. So there's things that we do with this particular fundamental that is foundational and really sets us up for success in everything we do. And it really relates to all the fundamentals. So if you're out there and there's something that we have these guidelines, or maybe we do have a procedure in place, and you're thinking, boy, we really should think a little differently here to take care of the customer, to do the right thing for an associate. Maybe it's being flexible or doing whatever it may be because it's the right thing to do. I'm sure that at the branch, when you guys talk about it, or in a department team, you talk about it, you're going to come up with the right decisions. And if there's guidelines that we can help and discuss further, we're always all ears. So let's always do the right thing. Let's build on this foundational fundamental now, each and every day, and forever. Thank you.